So if you've ever wondered why your load is smaller than it used to be, why the force is not what it once was, or why every supplement online seems to promise the same miracle, I want you to understand the anatomy before you spend another dollar. Because semen quality, semen volume, and ejaculation force are controlled by different systems. But one gland sits right in the middle of the whole thing. So I'm Dr. Rachel Ross, physician, sexologist, and founder of the DrRachael Institute. Today I'm giving you the volume formula. And stick around because by the end, I'm going to share with you a free resource that can help you with all of this. What actually supports semen volume, what supports force, what improves sperm quality, and what does absolutely nothing, no matter how many men on the internet swear by it. So we're going to talk about real studies, real numbers, and real anatomy. So let's go. Now, when men say they want a bigger load, they're usually talking about three things all at one time. They want more fluid, they want more force, and some of them also want better sperm quality, especially if fertility has been a problem. So those are not the same goal. Sperm quality comes mainly from the testes. Semen volume comes mainly from the glands producing the volume, and the ejaculation force comes mainly from the pelvic floor muscles and the contractions that move the fluid out and the prostate. And if you don't know which system controls which result, you can spend months taking supplements that were never built to do what you want them to do. This is why I call this video the volume formula. Quality, volume, and force. 3 goals, 3 systems, 3 different timelines. So first, let's start with quality. Quality is the sperm themselves. How many do you make? How well do they swim? How well are they shaped? And whether the sperm membrane is healthy enough to do its job, which is to fertilize an egg. That part is mostly about the testicles and the Sertoli cells, which help build sperm over a production cycle that takes roughly 64 to 74 days. That means that what you do today may show up in your sperm quality 2 to 3 months from now. So one of the best foods studied out here were walnuts. UCLA researchers studied 117 men and had one group add 75 grams of walnut a day for 12 weeks. The walnut group saw improvements in sperm vitality, motility, and morphology. Alpha-linoleic acid in walnuts, a plant omega-3, can become part of the sperm membrane. A healthier sperm membrane means better swimmers. Now here's the part that a lot of people miss. Sperm makes up only a small fraction of the fluid that comes out. So a sperm quality food may upgrade the sperm, but it doesn't necessarily give you more semen volume. Better sperm and more fluid are different outcomes, different things. So let's talk now about volume. See, the fluid comes mainly from your glands. The seminal vesicles produce the majority of the semen fluid. Your prostate adds a portion too. The testes contribute sperm, but sperm is only a small part of that total volume. So if your goal is to have more volume, your focus has to shift from only boosting sperm to supporting the glands that make that fluid. See, normal semen volume is usually about 1.5 to 5 milliliters per ejaculation. That amount can change with age, changes with hydration, ejaculation frequency, how much you do it, medication use, prostate health, hormones, and metabolic health. And this is where the prostate comes in. See, the prostate is not just sitting there. It actually contributes fluids, enzymes, zinc, and other components that help semen function properly. It also contains smooth muscle that contracts during emission, ping, the phase where the fluid gets moved into that position right before ejaculation. So the prostate plays in more ways than you know in the process. It contributes to the fluid, it participates in the movement of the fluid, and the nerves involved in the ejaculation reflex run right in that same pelvic vicinity. That is why if I'm teaching you how to think about volume and force, you got to talk about the prostate. See, historically, prostate massage was used as a standard treatment before antibiotics became available and all these medications became available, especially when physicians were trying to drain the prostate fluid and manage chronic prostate symptoms or ED, and some urologists still use prostatic massage selectively today, particularly in chronic prostatitis or chronic pelvic pain evaluation. But that doesn't mean that prostate massage has been proven in clinical trials to increase ejaculate volume of force. The honest point is this, that based on the anatomy and the physiology of the gland, the prostate congestion, the inflammation, and poor pelvic circulation, they're worth addressing if you're trying to optimize semen quality, volume, and the way that the ejaculation feels. This is the lane I want you to be in, where you understand the gland, you understand what it contributes, then you take care of it intelligently. Now let's talk about force. Force is not mainly about how much fluid you make. Force is muscular. The bulbar spongiosus muscle at the base of the penis contracts and rhythmically during ejaculation. That pushing you feel is part of that launch mechanisms. If the muscles of the pelvic floor are weak, they're not coordinated, or they're constantly tensed up, that force can change. So Kegel exercises, dick ups, pelvic floor activation, they don't make more fluid. And anybody telling you that they do is mixing up the anatomy, but the pelvic floor training supports the force, the control, and the quality of that finish when it's done correctly. And I want to make this distinction. The glands make the volume, the muscles create the force, the testicles build the sperm, and the prostate touches both the fluid side and the emission side. That is the volume formula. Now let's get into the levers. The first lever is hydration. Semen is mostly water-based fluid, so we don't need a fake precise percentage here. The practical point is really simple. If you're dehydrated, your glands aren't going to have the same fluid support to work with. So hydration is one of the fastest levers because it can affect you in the next few days, not in the months coming. So drink consistently, especially on the days that matter. You know those days, right? The second lever is zinc. This one has such research behind it. A meta-analysis and scientific reports pooled 20 studies with more than 2,600 men and found that zinc supplementation improved semen volume, the way they were moving, the motility, and the morphology, how they were shaped, and volume specifically. That's important because many supplements can only affect sperm markers or only claim to affect volumes without much human evidence. Zinc is also highly relevant to the prostate. Your prostate concentrates zinc, and seminal zinc can reflect prostate and seminal fluid function. A cross-sectional study of 964 men found that seminal plasma zinc was significantly lower in men over 40 compared with younger men. So if you are over 40 and you're trying to optimize volume, zinc is worth paying attention to. Now, practical range 15 to 30 milligrams a day is where most men start, but you can't have high dose without making sure that you're getting enough copper. Now, food first when you can. Oysters are king, red meat, pumpkin seeds, chickpeas can help too. One caveat, because I got to be honest with you, the largest trial looking at folic acid plus zinc in over 2,000 men didn't show any fertility improvements that we would expect. So zinc is not going to be a magic point, but it's definitely something to think about. It is more likely to help you when you're low or when your seminal zinc status is not where it needs to be. Think correction, not miracle. The third level here, this one is free. After ejaculation, your glands need time to refill. Semen volume and sperm count tend to rise with longer intervals of not ejaculating. The World Health Organization recommends 2 to 7 days of abstinence before you even analyze semen. And other reproductive medicine guidelines often narrow that window closer to 3 or 4 days. See, studies tracking large number of semen samples, they all confirm the same thing. Longer spacing increases volume. So for many men, a 2 to 7 day reasonable is a sweet spot if the goal is more volume on the next relief, depending on how old you are, because it may even be 14 days you need to take a break. Just depends. Now, waiting too long can create a different problem though. Fluid can stagnate, pelvic tension can build up, and sperm quality can decline after extended periods of abstinence. So don't hoard it, right? Find the right frequency for your body. I've got videos about it. Now, the fourth lever is prostate maintenance. This is where we talk about the gland itself. Your prostate contributes a meaningful portion of seminal fluid. It also contains smooth muscle that contracts during that emission and explosion phase. So when the prostate is irritated, inflamed, congested, enlarged, or surrounded by pelvic tension, the whole experience will change. This is also why I like teaching prostate care through a medical and historical lens. Before antibiotics, prostate massage was commonly used in medicine to manage prostate gland issues. So that doesn't mean massage is a magic volume treatment. It means prostate drainage, circulation, inflammation, and pelvic relaxation have been part of the medical conversation for a really long time. We just don't talk about it anymore. And if you're trying to optimize volume and force, the prostate deserves attention because of what it contributes anatomically. chronically. In my prostate massage guide, I walk you through the prostate stimulation and gland support practices in a careful step-by-step way so that you understand what you're doing. The guide is linked below, or you can actually scan this QR code right here. Now, the fifth lever is force. Here's a distinction I want you to remember. The glands make the volume and the muscles make the launch. The bulbospongiosus muscle is one of the key muscles involved in that rhythmic contraction of ejaculation. So if you want more force, you need to train the system that creates the force. So it doesn't mean squeezing all day until your pelvic floor is tight or irritated. A tight pelvic floor creates its own set of problems. You want a coordination. You want a muscles that can fire and contract and release and fire rhythmically when it's time. So the same activation work I teach for erections helps right here. So find the muscle that stops your urine mid-flow. Lift, squeeze, release, and make sure you can fully relax it too. Power without relaxation turns into tension and stiffness. And the sixth lever is the prostate. Yep, you can't ignore this one because during emission, the prostate surrounding smooth muscle helps move that fluid into the position. That's how the gland works. A healthier, less congested prostate may support both the fluid side and the force side. Now, I want to be precise here. We don't have a clinical trial proving that prostate massage increases ejaculate volume or distance, but we do know the prostate contributes fluid, contracts during emission, and can become inflamed or congested. So the honest mechanism is here. Support the gland, reduce pelvic congestion, improve circulation, and you may improve the system that contributes to both volume and force. That's why the prostate is the only player on all the teams, right? So one quick word about sunflower lecithin. You've seen the forums telling you that lecithin is the secret to bigger loads. Save your money. The evidence people point to is not strong human evidence. The controlled data commonly discussed comes from roosters. I could not find controlled human trials showing lecithin reliably increases semen volume. Now, there's another reason to be thoughtful about high-dose lecithin or choline supplementation. Research from the Cleveland Clinic, including an article in the New England Journal of Medicine, showed that gut bacteria can convert phosphatidylcholine into TMAO, a compound associated with increased cardiovascular risk. So supplementing with these things in high volume could create heart damage. That doesn't mean I want you to fear foods that have choline in them, but excessive supplementation with it has not been proven to be beneficial to your erection or your heart. We need stronger evidence. But hydration, timing, zinc when needed, pelvic floor coordination, prostate support, and lifestyle habits, those can protect blood flow, boost hormones, and boost fluid volume. So drop a comment. Lever are you starting with? The zinc, the timing, the hydration, the pelvic floor work, prostate maintenance. Each one teach one here. Let me know in the comments. And let's put the volume formula into a protocol now. So daily, hydrate. Get zinc from food or use a reasonable supplement if you need it, but get copper too. Train the pelvic floor. Move your body to support pelvic circulation. And weekly, I want you to find that release rhythm that fits your body. For many young men, 4 days, 2 to 4 days is fine. But for older men, you may need to do it a little longer than that. For prostate maintenance, download my prostate massage guide so you can learn more about that. The link is here and it's down below too. And for sperm quality, think walnuts. Studied 75 grams a day for 12 weeks. So listen, you decide what makes sense for your life, what your goals are. The point is the timeline. Sperm quality changes over weeks and months, not overnight. Your semen is a diary of the last 2 to 3 months of your life. Now, here's the enemy list. Everything of that protocol can be undermined by the same things that damage erections. Smoking constricts the vessels that feed your glands and pelvic tissue, even if it's a vape pen. Heavy alcohol dehydrates you, disrupts your sleep, and drains testosterone. You're literally drinking your volume away. Heat matters. Hot tubs, saunas, laptops on your lap, all that can affect sperm production because the testicles sit outside the body for a reason. They need to stay cooler than your core body temperature. Chronic stress and processed sugar, they attack the hormones, the blood vessels, and the metabolic system running the whole operation. And here's one huge red flag. If your volume suddenly drops and your urine looks cloudy after orgasm, that could be retrograde ejaculation. That is when semen flows back into the bladder instead of out through the penis and you weren't trying to get it there. That can happen with diabetes-related nerve damage, certain medications, prostate surgery, bladder neck issues. So that's not a lifestyle issue. That is actually a see your doctor issue. And the last thing, expectations. Listen, hydration can help really quickly. Timing can change your next release too. But zinc and gland health may take weeks to months. Sperm quality follows that 64 to 74 day production cycle, and your ceiling is your ceiling. Genetics and age set part of your range. A 2-millimeter man is not becoming a 10-millimeter man because somebody on a forum told you to take a handful of supplements. But where you sit inside your range is influenced by your daily habits. Most men aren't trying to become somebody else. You really just want your best version back. So optimize the glands, train the muscles, protect the system, feed the sperm, respect the timeline. That is the honest promise. Quality from the testes, volume from the glands, force from the muscles, and the prostate plays on both teams. That's the volume formula. If you want to see the machine behind all of this, the two-phase finish, the load, the launch, and the whole system, watch this video right here. It's the foundation of everything I just taught you. And don't forget to grab your prostate massage guide below. I'm DrRachael. I love you. Boom! Watch this one next.